Awesome. What's going on? Francis here again.
Nick.
And we're going to do another review, this time on Tower 10. Alright. We were going to do Mosaic, but we decided to get a build your own 6-pack at the store.
Yeah, $10 for like, 6 different kinds of beers.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't have Mosaic though, man. Yeah. That's my favorite.
True.
It's still Karl Strauss.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were doing a little bit of research about it earlier. Obviously, we're doing another San Diego-based micro brewing company out of PB, and Tower 10 specifically is referred to the Lifeguard Tower 10 at Mission Beach, and I guess that's where they started, coming up with the plans for this bad boy.
Yeah.
And I personally like Karl Strauss a lot. Everything they come up with is really good. Their artworks, it's not like Ballast Point, but it's still like very
yeah, you could definitely tell that they put some effort into their artwork as well, similar to Ballast Point. It's not simple. They don't simply just put the name of the beer on the bottle, but they also add, they added the little tower.
Yeah,
as it's called Tower 10 IPA, so I think that's very fitting. It's
exactly.
it's like a nod to the first plan of the whole brewery, and I think it's pretty interesting how they did that.
Yeah, and from what I call on the website, I'm sure you could just go to Karl Strauss, Google it. I don't know if it's a .com, .org, or whatever, but they use a lot of local art on their bottles themselves, which I thought is really cool. And I know they do annual events, like they have their own Oktoberfest over there and other barrel exchanging of the barrel. I probably got that wrong, changing of the barrel event or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably check that out ourselves and kind of get a little more deep with the history as far as Karl Strauss. And I don't want to be too technical, but the bottle itself, another dark bottle. So again, it comes off, like we say, strong. What are your thoughts on it as far as the bottle goes?
Definitely, it is pretty dark looking, and I think it's fitting because this is an IPA. It has a pretty high alcohol content beer as well, 7% ABV. IBUs, do you remember what the exact value was on that? I think it was 70 IBUs.
Was it really?
Yeah, pretty high up there, pretty
gosh.
bitter. Compared to, I think, 22 that you would find in a Dos Equis or something like that. So, yeah, some people don't like drinking IPAs because they're too bitter, but I personally don't mind it. I like the hoppiness.
Yeah.
Same
they
with
go
you.
really good with food.
Yeah, you could pair it well with sushi or a burrito
Korean
or something.
barbecue.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah, for sure. And then they got the little 89, since that's when they were established, right there.
Oh, wow.
Right on the bottle cap on every Karl Strauss beer, which I think is pretty cool. Kind of lets you know, this is how long they've been around. All right, well, let's dig in. Definitely not a screw top. So one thing that Nick and I want to do with these reviews, I know I'm having a little trouble over here, is do one in the glass and then drink one straight out of the bottle. And compare the taste, just like we did in the last video. Just in case, preference, not everybody's going to drink it out of a glass. Yes, we tried changing the glass this time. We got it from the dollar store, not going to lie.
Not going to lie, going to keep it real.
Yeah. And then, we'll try to get what is it called, the proper glass?
Snifter is what it's called.
Snifter.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if, an IPA of this sort would be served in a snifter. At a bar or something, as opposed to just a regular pint glass. Usually the smaller glasses, the snifter is you'd serve something with more alcohol, like a 12% or something like that, like an imperial stout or something along those lines. But it's still, it still is pretty fancy to drink out of. I think the shape of it also makes it such that you can smell different notes, and so that, of course, the way you taste something is influenced by, how you smell it too.
Okay.
So, having that tulip shape of the glass contributes to, how the beer, overall tastes to you. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, I can grab a mug right now. It's up to you. You can do the mug instead of this A snifter.
Oh no, I think this would be fine. We're not gonna pour the entire thing, and
Sure.
I mean, I don't. It might actually be able to carry this 12-ounce beer, but
Let's find out.
yeah.
All right, let's put this one in. Ooh, it's gonna foam up.
It's a nice pour, man.
Thank you. Ooh, yeah, it's bitter. It's good. A little grapefruit type of aroma kind of going on there. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I already took a sip from the bottle too, so I guess this would be a good comparison to make as well.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the grapefruit translates better with the glass.
Really.
I think again, like as I was saying, because it's open and you can actually smell it and things of that sort. So definitely bitter though. As is characteristic.
That's so
yeah,
good.
yeah. As is characteristic of your IPAs, but that's what people like about it.
Mhm. It's not extremely. It's not like Stone. Stone IPA. I think
Stone
that's
IPA.
a lot more bitter.
Yeah, no, definitely.
At least me personally, that's the most bitter beer I've ever tried. But you could obviously tell the color is darker than that cream ale we had last time.
Mhm.
More on that, I guess, dark amber color. I guess that's
Yeah.
the only really color I can think of when I see a beer. When I see beer, I'm just like, oh, it's the color of beer. Maybe it's dark, maybe it's light. This is like
Yeah.
more of a good medium kind of
Yeah.
going to darker type of beer.
Mhm.
Foamed up really good too, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the foam head it's staying,
Yeah,
As opposed to the
definitely.
cream ale,
Exactly.
it dissipated immediately. So this time, this makes for a good mouthfeel. I think it's
Sure.
something that you could just sip on slowly and enjoy. At the beach, at Mission Beach near Tower 10. That would be.
I
dope,
wish they
though.
let us drink on the beach.
Yo, that would
we
be
could
like-
we could do a review on base
Yeah, maybe.
on the beach on base.
Yeah.
Drink there.
Yeah.
But me personally, it's like it's not my go-to,
Mm.
but I would definitely if it was on the menu and maybe Mosaic wasn't on there,
Mhm.
and there's nothing but just like maybe a plain old Bud Light, I would definitely go with the Tower 10.
Sure. Yeah.
I think it would pair really well with Korean barbecue,
I think so too.
just
actually.
because the bitterness and the meat, I feel like they just kind of not necessarily complement each other,
Mhm.
but they contrast each other. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Contrast each other, but not so much to the point that they're not complementing one another. I think they'll pair just fine.
Mhm.
The taste isn't too big in disparity that, it'll be offsetting or anything like that. It'll match well, I think.
For sure.
Same here, though. I think Mosaic, in terms of Karl Strauss beers, it takes the cake.
Yes.
Definitely. This guy
Yeah.
introduced me to Mosaic, actually. Just rolled up to a kickback with a 6-pack of Mosaic, and I was like, wow. First of all, the artwork was really nice, just keeping in, to the theme of Karl Strauss's artwork. That caught my eye for
It
sure.
was like a stained glass.
Yeah.
We'll do a review
Well,
on that one too.
We'll get to that too. I mean, this is obviously the focus of this video, but I'm just saying Karl Strauss, solid beers. Some better than others, but still good.
Yeah, I'm really trying to depict like different little notes in there, man.
What can you get from it?
Just like obviously bitter, but it's not unbearable. Especially in here, I didn't even try it out of this yet,
Yeah.
but I'm sure out of this is gonna be a lot, a little bit more intense. No, not really.
It's fine,
Yeah.
It's like it's very. What was that word you used yesterday? Sessionable or sessiony?
Sessiony.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's just something you can definitely just put down.
Yeah.
Actually, Tower 10, I believe, won 3 competitions. The first 2, I believe, were international competitions.
Jeez.
Got a silver, a gold, and then a bronze in like a state, like a local competition. But the gold it won in LA was an international competition. So I mean, that says something right there alone for an IPA. Now that there's different kinds of like double IPAs and stuff coming in the picture. I mean, they've been coming in for a minute now, but now there's a lot more broad variety for competition.
Right.
So I haven't even tried a double IPA yet, but personally, Tower 10 IPA, maybe you want to go into like what IPA stands for, like Indian Pale Ale. Do you know a little bit about the history of that or anything, or?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that India Pale Ale refers to when they were making beer back in the past. It had to be able to withstand, just time, because when you're shipping that to India or to the soldiers or whatever, I'm not entirely sure which country, but when you're shipping it to that country, of course, it's going to have to withstand the test of time. The quality in the beer is going to diminish a bit, as well as the alcohol content. So
Sure.
when they're shipping it out, they start off with a high alcohol content to give it some room such that it can, diminish in alcohol content and bitterness and things of that sort. And
Okay.
that was just, a technical tactic that they would use in the past, but now they're just serving it as is with the high bitterness, the high alcohol content, and that's just a taste that, people in today's age acquired. Bitterness isn't exactly something that comes naturally to us. It's not exactly something that's appealing to us right on the
Definitely.
jump, but it's been acquired as, just time has passed. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially with the whole IPA kind of
Yeah.
fad going on, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's so popularized right
Yeah.
now. Some would even say overhyped, but I don't. It's fine to me. I think it's good that beers of this kind are getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't think you could fake liking an IPA though, because
Mm.
like, I mean, you could, but like, you could just tell by the.
By their face,
Yeah.
by their reactions and things of that sort.
Exactly.
That's true.
Because I mean, like, why fake liking a beer you don't like?
Yeah.
Especially, if beer alone, trying it for the first time, not everybody's gonna like just beer in itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, and then kind of stepping up to an IPA is definitely a different little world or a different little state. And I know Karl Strauss, they were trying to kind of change up the game as far as bringing kind of more intense flavors back to the States. I don't remember exactly the history, but thanks to them, now we have the whole IPA craze and everything too.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
yeah. Well, I personally, on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, I would give it 4, man.
4.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm surprised I'm not even drinking it as much right now. I don't want to get like last video. I was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
But what about you? What would you put this on a 5-star rating?
I'd give it a 3.5. I think.
3.5?
Yeah, I've tasted a couple of IPAs. This would pair very nicely, I think, for sure. But for whatever reason, I'm kind of getting like an airy body. Like it isn't. With IPAs, I just associate those kinds of beers with like a very heavy sort of feeling, and that's what I expect when I'm drinking it. For some reason, I'm not sure.
So this isn't really heavy for you as
no,
for an IPA?
Yeah, I mean the bitterness is there, but it kind of goes down smooth, like one of the lighter beers, in my opinion.
Okay. And I could see that's how it maybe won the competition.
No, definitely. I'm not knocking them for that. That's probably like appealing, if anything, to like just any other consumer. But for me, like with IPAs, it's like I don't know. I was expecting like pretty more like a fuller body, maybe.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the flavors of the flavors that are distinct to an IPA are there for sure. But I'd have to dock off like 1.5 for just how I don't know, like how soft, like how easy it is.
Okay.
I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah.
It doesn't go down like an IPA, but it.
Yeah, I guess that would be one way to put it.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a Tower 10 IPA, Karl Strauss, and honestly, I don't drink it very often. I'm sure you guys have, or if you haven't. But if you have, let us know. Give us some feedback. Maybe more technical with the notes, because we're not here to be technical. Actually, we're here just to have a good time, kind of give our own little flavor. As far as the Navy side goes with this, I don't really see too many people bringing out the Tower 10s. College, anything?
I can't say that I've seen this brought out. No.
Okay.
Yeah, to a party or anything like that, but I
If
would.
you guys have, let
I'd
us
bring
know.
it up.
Yeah.
I'd roll up with this beer. It's solid.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let us know what you guys think. Questions, comments, whatever. Hate us, like us. But if you have tried it, please give us more technicalities of what you have depicted from tasting this beer. And any closing, anything else that you want to kind of put a spin on?
I just want to commend the guys at Karl Strauss, keep on grinding. Because
Yeah.
obviously, I mean, since '89, you know what I mean?
That's
It
true.
all started at the Tower 10. They were just chilling on the beach, presumably enjoying a beer, just talking about life, talking about their plans for their brewery, and look where they're at, They're successful. They're widely successful. Like, I've seen Karl Strauss beers on tap in L.A., and I'm sure, like, if you would travel around with the Navy, you'll see it there, too. So
Definitely.
it's just, I think it speaks volumes to, like, where you can go with the whole brewery business. So, kudos,
Sweet.
man.
Yeah.
Good job,
Sweet.
Karl Strauss. Cheers.
How do you feel about that one?
It's okay.
I mean, we only have really one take with it.
I know.